All right, we're here with the band The Afterwhile. What a performance. They just got done playing. We've got Alex, Jason, Gina, Chris, and Tony. Gina, Chris, and Tony are siblings, and somehow they play in a band together. I don't know how that works exactly, but we're going to ask them. How is it, guys, playing in a band together, being growing up in the same home and being family?
Well, we grew up playing. We have a rather large family. We're just 3 of 10, and we grew up as a musical family group. So we grew up traveling on the road. I was a little bit younger than like Chris and Tony when we stopped, so they got most of the experience. But you know, we've been doing it together forever. You know, playing music together, and so it's just kind of it feels natural, and it feels like we should be doing that. You know, it's what we're supposed to be doing, is playing music together. So for me, I feel like it's kind of a bonding thing, you know, because it's something that's really I'm passionate about, and as are they. So we get to share and write, and it's a cool creative process as family and as, you know, fellow bandmates too.
Was it tough being the little sister?
I mean, you know, it kind of like in a family that size, once you're, you know, at the end of 10 kids, everybody's like, you must have been spoiled, but I was just like totally on my own, you know, like fending for myself, you know, because by that point everybody was just like, oh, it wasn't like that.
No, you were spoiled.
Okay. I don't know.
You just didn't know it.
Okay.
The little sister never knows she's spoiled. Right
Still
on.
is. Yeah.
Well, Alex and Jason, what's it like playing in a band with 3 siblings ganging up on you guys the whole time?
It's about as horrible as you would imagine for the most part. It's actually really nice, you know, I think we're all close enough to family, you know, probably at this point, so,
yeah.
And we have a good time doing it. Alex is
Yeah, you can tell that they've been playing together forever, because they're really some of the most musical people I've gotten a chance to play with, and it's really great for me. It's a learning experience. They've got a lot to teach.
Their chemistry must be just pretty powerful. I mean, growing up their whole lives playing with each other.
Yeah, certainly.
Cool.
That's
Thanks,
great.
guys.
Oh, no problem.
And your parents played also?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow. So all 10 people? 12
Yes,
people?
Our mother's an opera singer, and our father was in the symphony back in Detroit, and they met in a pretty famous music school. And then he went on to play with Motown Records, and he was a jazz big band player. And that's when I was very small. And so later on, they had, you know, there were 6 kids at that point, and they decided to start a musical family group. And we traveled around the country for 15 or 16 years. And
wow.
In the meantime, Gina and Tony came along. They're near the bottom of the count, but and so we wound up down in Florida, settled down in Florida, and you know, they grew up here. And so we lately thought, well, we need to get back into the music business as a family, you know, and you know, all the chemistry's there, as Gina said, so why not? And, you know, it's working.
So growing up touring, being a family that tours around America together, you got to have some great stories. Something that's come up that's, Tony, you got anything good to?
Oh God, I could, you know, you could write a whole book on that one. It was just an amazing childhood. You know, I was basically born into it, and I lived my life. My parents taught us through correspondence school, and we were at a lot of fairs and malls, conventions. We did Vegas even sometimes. So
Wow.
growing up around a lot of that, it was a really amazing experience, and just countless. I can't really even zero in on one story right now, but there was just tons of them. It was a really, really great way to grow up.
Sounds awesome. How
Yeah.
about musical influences, guys? I know that every band, every artist has a ton, but any death metal fans here, or anything, any genres that you guys like that might be non-traditional?
I'm a big fan of Brandi Carlile. She's one of my biggest influences. Ava Cassidy, but I like everywhere from, you know, Led Zeppelin to, you know, Mozart. So it's up the gamut. But so it's kind of Radiohead.
You know, from the funky Motown days to jazz to bluegrass to country to you know, folk, and it's starting to morph into a pretty cool, you know, style, I'd say.
Jason?
Well, I mean, it's funny you said death metal. I actually did listen to a fair amount of it as a teenager, for sure.
More of an angel?
Yeah, certainly, man. More Slayer, all those guys.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, I started playing music after I heard a Jerry Garcia and David Grisman album, actually, and that really introduced me to, you know, just a massive world of, you know, various acoustic music.
The show is called St. Augustine Scene. you know, there is a scene here in St. Augustine. We're trying to make it bigger, but you know, what's one aspect of St. Augustine that you guys really enjoy playing here, the crowd, the vibe, and all of that?
Yeah, everything. Yeah, and I think a cool part about when we play out here is, you know, people come back and they support you. And we see a lot of the same people, you know, familiar faces that come back and support us and listen to us and stuff. So I think it's really, people really respect music around here, and so that's really cool for me to see the same, you know, people coming back, and that's a neat thing.
I was standing on the porch of Ann O'Malley's just recently. We played there, and it was, you know, pretty late into the evening, and I see a group of people right there in front of the cemetery, and I asked somebody, what is that? And they go, oh, that's the Ghost Tour. So, you know, it's like all these different elements, and it makes St. Augustine so cool, you know.
Absolutely.
The city definitely has an energy and a mystique that brings a lot of people here and captures their imagination and their heart, you know, and I think it's the same with us. The first time we played here, it was just the people were so accepting, and they really just got into what we were doing, you know, wholeheartedly, and that's what keeps bringing us back. So, in a nutshell. You know.